the Soaring Eagles Teachers Lounge, a place to get and share advice about everything pertaining to homeschooling. Today's subject is homeschool co-ops and pods in North Carolina. The following information is up to date as of October 10, 2024. In North Carolina, homeschool law is specific about the structure and oversight of homeschooling, but has some flexibility when it comes to cooperative arrangements, like teaching other people's children or forming homeschool pods or co-ops. Here's what the law says and how these situations work legally. 1. Homeschool definition and primary instruction. According to North Carolina law, a homeschool is defined as a non-public school where one or two families or households provide academic instruction to children. The law requires that the parent, legal guardian, or a member of the household of the child provide the majority of the instruction. This means one or two families may group together to homeschool their children. The parents from each family must provide the primary instruction for their children. Parents can share teaching responsibilities. For example, one parent teaches math, another teaches reading, as long as each parent is actively involved. 2. Teaching other people's children under NC law, parents can enlist outside instructors. Examples are tutors, hired teachers, or other parents for supplementary instruction, but they cannot outsource the majority of the instruction to someone outside the household. You can teach other people's children in a homeschool setting only if it is supplemental to the instruction provided by the child's own parents. If you wish to form a co-op or a pod with multiple families, each parent must still take responsibility for providing the bulk of instruction for their own children. 3. Homeschool pods, where multiple families come together to educate their children in a small group setting, are legal in North Carolina as long as they comply with the following. Parents from each family remain the primary instructors for their own children. The pod can meet regularly, and parents can share teaching responsibilities for specific subjects or activities, but the primary instruction must still come from the parent or legal guardian. The group must consist of one or two families for it to be considered a homeschool under North Carolina law. If more than two families are involved, it does not meet the state's legal definition of a homeschool and may fall under different regulations. 4. Homeschool co-op groups. Homeschool co-ops, where multiple families gather to share resources, take classes, or participate in extracurricular activities, are common and legal in North Carolina, but they do not operate as homeschools per se. A co-op typically supplements the homeschool experience rather than replaces it. Here are key considerations. Co-ops can legally exist as a support network where families come together to offer classes, activities, and events. But each family's homeschool must still operate independently in terms of compliance with state laws. Example, filing the notice of intent, standardized testing, attendance records. Co-ops can hire instructors, but again, this should be supplemental instruction, and parents must still oversee the majority of their child's core academics. If a co-op grows too large or becomes more formalized, for example, resembling a private school, it might need to consider registering as a private school or educational institution, which falls under a different set of laws. 5. Regulations for homeschool co-ops and pods. While NC law allows pods and co-ops, as long as parents maintain the majority of their child's instruction, co-ops and pods should ensure they do not require legal registration as a separate entity, example, private school, which would change their obligations under North Carolina law. Activities organized by co-ops are voluntary and not structured in a way that resembles a traditional school setting where instruction is primarily outsourced. All participating homeschool families comply with North Carolina homeschool laws, including the filing of a notice of intent for each family and keeping appropriate records for their children, testing, attendance, etc. To summarize, pods and co-ops are legal as long as each parent maintains responsibility for their own child's education. Teaching other people's children is allowed, but it should be in a supplementary role, not as the primary teacher. If you plan to organize or participate in a homeschool pod or co-op, ensure that all members comply with North Carolina's homeschooling laws, especially regarding each parent's role as the primary educator. If you found today's topic helpful, please like and subscribe for more content. I hope you have a happy homeschool day. Happy